of this radio station.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight. This is Wilzor Show. Our technician, check my mic. Yeah. I'll be back. Yeah. Good evening to everyone. This is Wilzor Show on Radio Global 99.5. It's a pleasure to me to be here tonight to present you your show truly. Tonight, I'm not by myself. I have with me a guest. This is Reverend Michael Tenere from Victory Chapel. I think he's here. He's gonna talk a little bit about himself, and then I know for sure tonight we're gonna have a good show. So we ain't gonna take too much time. So we're gonna say good night to Mr. Michael Tenere.
Good night, Global 99.5 FM, and the community at large who's listening. And it is a very much privilege to be here. Bonsoir tout le monde qui a écouté, tout le monde qui en l'air dans moment ça, c'est un privilège pour me capable là avec nous.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. Ça fait un plaisir, so m'apprécier ça en pile que vous l'avez avec nous. Et si nous fait brancher, nous brancher et Radio Global 99.5 et nous sur Facebook et sur page Wilzor Antoine, sur page Wilzor Show. Ensuite que nous avons musique pour nos médias et qui est en duplex avec nous, qui est nous depuis Florida. Et nous disons merci à tout le monde qui attendez nous sur Band FM Nord et amis Naka Michael qui toujours nous écrit nous. Ça fait plaisir, amis Foxil. Et amis Nassau Suite, Nassau Village, Jenny Suite, Monaï Suite, merci en pile. Et moi, ouais, réaction yo, surtout les après. Et les fait émission yo, que moi commentaire yo, ça fait plaisir, en pile commentaire, rien qui positif, rien qui négatif. Et je pense que ça négatif yo que nous travaillons sur yo pour nous améliorer le choix. Merci en pile, amis, famille Allen, yo, pasteur Presnay Wesley, l'église Mont des Oliviers dans Machaba, et qui est toujours campé avec pasteur Roland Cadet dans Edo 3 et Palmetto Point et qui est toujours avec moi et ça fait un plaisir Gregory Town dans Edo 3 et moi surtout campé derrière moi Freeport on a parlé de monsieur Steven et depuis fois parce que radio ça et simultanément que li live de Nassau à Freeport. Et c'est-à-dire que nous sommes journal, nous sommes radio et nous everywhere, so pas aucun prétexte pour pas brancher sur ça. Mais avant, nous allons entrer dans vif sujet, mais nous pas oublier que l'émission ça n'est pas arrivé possible et sans grâce à des commanditaires et qui rendent chose possible. Donc merci avec Windows and Door Solution, c'est une solution en matière de portes et fenêtres dans la nation Bahamas. C'est téléphone 455 26 82 et vous mettez des hurricanes et bien que et ou pas besoin peur porte ça fenêtre ça pas garanti là-dedans Windows and Door Solution et là dans maquette suite là et que gain porte pour business et pour dire maison résidentielle quel soit type de porte et fenêtre que nous besoin et bien son seul numéro 455 26 82 et pour aller manger restaurant c'est God is Good restaurant the food is good et c'est entre Balfour et Ida Street et moi c'est que Madame Pierre et moi c'est que et Capitaine Bac restaurant ça et du lundi à dimanche et au menu vraiment varié à votre portée et son menu en outre pareil et tous les mercredis ragoût et samedi bouillon dimanche soupe joumon lundi du riz sauce pois légumes pot chop tout manger que rien ça moment et sous besoin vive thé par exemple sous besoin manioc banane patate on poisson blanc ou après les on commander dans le numéro ça c'est ou après les dans le numéro ça c'est 428 13 51 428 13 51 par exemple si tu as souhaité manger on poisson gros de sel on poisson blanc on poisson qui fait spécial avec vive tant que banane manioc et patate et bien que carrelé pour placer commande là encore une fois et c'est entre la street et Balfour et God is Good restaurant et de food vraiment good et l'autre bord et pas oublier aussi que Mami Tali entre suite entre Isuite et entre Isuite c'est là terre à la Bali bien là Bobby Gounan et Mami Tali c'est on seule place plusieurs services en même temps bon takeaway ensuite il fait traduction de documents et de A à Z gon market dedans et moi c'est que l'autre dans Mami Tali pas quoi qu'on a besoin de service que pour pas joindre ni disponible pour le bar et là on sent compressé ou besoin de décompresser et bien que au de remettre week-end avec Polo Bar et 325 52 33 ça me met dans Polo Bar pendant que Wanda et wap de petite musique avec DJ Campes et tous les vendredis et moi c'est que après une semaine de labeur et bien que au besoin côté pour relaxer un peu et bien en droit c'est pas l'autre côté lié c'est Polo Bar et pas oublier pour 25 décembre ça n'a gagné Linda Birthday Bash c'est pour le 25 décembre c'est dans SLWL bar restaurant c'est dans Balfour et moi c'est que tout le monde invité et bien à fêter à célébrer avec Linda Ulysse c'est Birthday Bash c'est dans SLWL et moi c'est que Guarde la Nation c'est deux adresses pour servir c'est 4G's Retail and Wholesale deux adresses une c'est dans Corpen Road et l'autre là c'est dans Zion Boulevard et c'est dans même Plaza Smith Motel number 2 et moi c'est l'on parle de retail wholesale et bien parce que c'est 4G c'est solution pas grand rien que au besoin ou pas besoin la donne alors que ma petit pause m'a tourner après alors technicien me rentrer le bruit All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Jason. So I'm so grateful so about all those support you've been all those I can say all those years you've been assist Wilzor Show. You always my number one technician. You always here for me, and then for any like I can say any foreign show, you are always the one who do the board for us. I think the entire Asian community will be grateful about all the support you've been giving to us, especially the CEO of the radio, Miss Mitchell White, and then who gave the support with the Haitian community. All right, thank you so much. I think God gonna still provide whatever the radio station need for the future. Pastor Michael, so once again, I'm happy to have you live with me on studio. First of all, what that means to you, you'll be live in studio with Wilzor on Wilzor Show.
Wow. That's a serious question. Quick, fast, and hurry. What it mean to be live with Wilzor? It means a lot because you play a very intricate part of the community. You are one of the voice in the community. The radio station has a voice to educate, to inform the community at large of what is taking place, and to be a bridge between the two communities. And so, just a matter of that being part of your show or being here tonight, I am very much excited because today was a rough day between the rain, the breeze, and all of the other events, but I knew that I had to be here, so I'm happy to be here with you tonight. Just to enjoy the moment and just share.
Yeah, thank you so much. Honestly, so based how daily basis, the way the weather is, so if we wasn't interested, put some serious on this, we cannot be here. So me personally, I'm not feeling well, but because I have an appointment with my listeners, so no matter what, I'm gonna make sure I'm be here. So, anyways, so I know so you got couple caskets. So actually, right now the most important to me now. So this is the Reverend Michael. Um, your family who put you to gospel, or you choose to be come to gospel?
Um, in my early age, my father used to attend one of the churches that I am now affiliated with. He used to attend Central Church of the Nazarene. That's one of our sister churches on East Street South. At the time, I was living on Malcolm and Lotman. This is in the early 70s. And I used to just go with him. He made it my duty. He made it his duty to ensure that I attend church. And so when he moved from Malcolm Allotment to Ida Street in those area, in the Angliston area, he ensured that I continued to went to church. So I went to Metropolitan Church of the Nazarene. And so there I began to learn so much about Christ, so much about service. And over the years, I stayed in the Nazarene church, and then I moved with my mother and came back. And when I came back to the Bahamas, I affiliated with Dr. Anton St. Louis and the Victory Chapel Church of the Nazarene. That's where I am presently at this time.
Yeah, but so if you said so, you came from some Nazarene because the two churches they affiliate.
Yeah, they sisters and brothers, and yeah, all of us Nazarene. We have about 4 branches here in Nassau. We have Metropolitan Church of Nazarene, which is a Creole-speaking church. We have Central Church of Nazarene, which is an English-speaking church. We have Beacon Hill Church of Nazarene, which is a English-speaking church, and we have Victory Chapel Church of Nazarene. We call it a multicultural church because we speak English, we speak Creole, we translate in English, and so that's where we at.
That's the reason why so I brought you here. Actually, when especially in the Haitian community, most churches so they do all those services in Creole because the majority of members they Creole speaking. My question is why I know for sure you are that you are a daddy, you have kids. Why we raise our child on the church, at certain of age, they have to leave the church. Why?
That's a very interesting question. When you look at the society that we are part of, there is different facets that you have to look at. You have to look at children being born in a Creole community, but they have to go into an English community for schooling and so forth. So therefore, they have to work with both languages. And there is a time in their life where they come to that crossroad and they have to make a decision where they want to be. It's not that the church is pushing them out, it's just that they have a culture that they want to be a part of. So they join that culture, they become part of that culture because we are all in a culture. So for the most part of it, you will find many of the young people over the years, as they grow older into the Creole community, some of them feel like the Creole churches don't have anything for them
They
anymore.
feel boring.
Well, to some degree, they feel boring. To some degree, they would say, well, the church is not helping them. And so they have to find a different avenue.
Exactly. But me personally, myself, I said, when someone came from Haiti, they stayed in Haiti, whatever it is, when you come in the Bahamas, and then you come to the Haitian church, when you see the pastor preaching in Creole, try to preach from mix from Creole and French, and then to show the entire assembly, and then the pastor and silly and then so those people the Bahamian Haitian descent who born and raised in the Bahamas, no matter what educated the pastor is, if the pastor can be able to speak, to preach the gospel on their native language they born and raised, they're gonna feel boring, even though the gospel is a good gospel. The question I'm gonna ask you personally, I see only, I'm not gonna say to, I just say that, but I don't want to say to make other churches feel like type of way. That's something I see myself. I see only Victory Chapel, they always make sure keep a standard. So why? So you choose to make the decision. So that's why I know for sure I have a couple of friends. We always talking about this. They say Victory Chapel, that's a high class church, and that's the way you're doing your things.
Well, you have to look at different things. Church have evolved. People have evolved over the years. You had a group of persons who came from Haiti or migrated from Haiti to the Bahamas, and at the time, they wanted somewhere to be associated with. So they are part of a church, and that church speak predominantly Creole. And over the years, what we have seen is that we who are part of the Creole community, who are now having children, like myself and other persons who are having children, we recognize that it's time to bridge the gap.
Exactly what we're gonna build for our children.
Well, it all comes with vision and leadership. It all comes with our leader over the years. I would say over the past 15, 20 years, he saw a need to bridge the gap. And that was part of his whole mandate, which is to bridge the gap in the Creole community. That's Dr. Antoine St. Louis. And so in bridging the gap, he went all out with the young people like myself, Minister Frito and others, for us to educate ourselves and to be able to educate the younger generation and to bridging the gap. And so there was a number of things that took place. It didn't take place overnight. So you find now that we are at a place where we have bridged the gap. Anyone, whether you speak Creole or English, can come to our church. And not only to our church, we have other churches in the community who have now seen the need that you have young persons, you have to try to keep them. If you're not going to keep them, somebody else is going to keep them for you.
Exactly.
So you have to reach out, look at your mandate, look at the philosophy, look at your vision, and then make some corrective measures, some corrective changes. And so kudos to my pastor who saw the need to do that. And we, over the years, he have faith in us, have faith in the likes of Minister Frito, myself, and other young leaders to be that bridge, to bridge the gap. And he himself continued to do that and harness that in our community. And so now you find that taking place.
Yeah, for me, I think that's a biggest issue, especially in the Asian community, especially in the Asian community. Um, that's the reason why I said how children don't want to stay at the church. But I know for sure Dr. Antoine St. Louis, and then it make a difference from the situation. But what about other churches? Probably they might not have human resources available to deal with this matter.
Well, they may not, or they may not reach to that place yet where they see the necessity of it. Our leader saw the necessity of it. He saw the vision behind it. And I can remember being part of Victory Chapel in '94 when I joined Victory Chapel Church of the Nazarene. All we were speaking was Creole. Everything was in Creole. And over the years, as we move, we saw the need to transition to the message doesn't change. It's just that now we have to reach out to the Creole and the English. And we saw the need to educate our young people more into knowing who they are as Bahamian of Haitian descent, understanding that you live in a community that speak Creole and English, because what we had at the time, we had some of our young people could not speak Creole at all. And even as I speak to you now, I'm still fighting with my Creole. And then you had, you had a group who speaks only Creole. Our youth department was divided because we had a group that speak all Creole and a group that speak all English.
All English, yeah.
And we needed to bridge that. We needed to fix
how you all do what the strategy to make them, to merge them together?
Well, the strategy was Dr. Antoine St. Louis sit down with Minister Frito Simeon and myself and told us, listen, we have to reach out to both communities. Because he is the president of UHAB, United Haitian and Bahamian in the Bahamas. And because we were doing so much, he said, we have to reach out to both communities. So that was a plan, that was a campaign that we had to reach out, and we begin in our youth department. In our youth department, everything that we did it in Creole and English. If we sing a song, we remember the years where we had groups like Shabak and other groups that come and teach us a song. We had persons like our musician, Antoine Baptiste, who will change that song into Creole. So we will be able to sing it in Creole and English. So over the years, we began to do that. And then we began our first Haitian Flag Day, and we realized that, okay, this is now the way we're going to educate our young people who are in the church, who doesn't speak a word of Creole and doesn't know anything about the Haitian culture itself, except that they go to a Haitian church. So now we did it because we wanted them to have a self-esteem, to know who they are, to understand who they are, not only Christian, but a citizen, and not only for the Bahamas, for Haiti, and for the community at large. So that was the campaign, and we had to run with it.
But honestly, for me, I think if most of churches, especially in the Haitian community, do the same thing as Victory Chapel does, I think we're not gonna have so much languages, because I mean, especially in the Bahamas, so if you can be able to speak yourself easier, that easy to get a job. So I can say that to myself. I remember I've been to the radio to the past more than 18 years. I remember when from 2010 when the earthquake passed in Haiti, and then I was on Island FM. One of the Wednesdays we had Gwyneth and Kelly, because both of them they Bahamian Haitian descent. So Gwyneth born and raised in the Bahamas, so speaking English that easier for her. We have some guests from American Embassy, and then so they come share sympathies with what's going on in Haiti. I was the one who do the board. So I was to the panel. I do understand every single thing they said, but I can't even say even one word. I was so frustrated from that time. I said to myself, this is the last time that happened to me. You know why that happened to me? Because when I came in the Bahamas from 07, my first connection was with Haitians. I was in little open, open to the next community. Because if I'm on the Bahamas, I'm gonna make sure I go to the Bahamian, because Haitian, I know them already. So for me, I think for the young people who come to the Bahamas right now, but you might probably a auntie or your dad, whatever, someone might be brought you here where they go to church. They take you there, but you can decide it where you go if that's gonna help you. For me, I think the language in the Bahamas is the biggest problem.
Well, it is, but over the years, it have changed completely. It have really changed to the place where, one, you don't have to be afraid to know who you are, to understand who you are. If it's Creole that you speak, you don't have to be afraid. Indeed, you have to learn the other language as best as you can. Over what we had is that, one, we had a stigma in the community. And so because of the stigma, many churches remain isolated to themselves. Many churches remain to that place where, okay, it's Creole, I will teach, and Creole, I will speak. Because people already know me as Haitian, so I will not run from that. I will not, and that's it. However, you have a group, as they grow older, they realize that, okay, a change have to take place. And so over the years, you see the change. You see the change as being more receptive. And if you look at it, the barrier that you will have, especially, and I always tell persons who speak Creole, don't ever be afraid to speak Creole. The English community will never laugh at you the way you speak, you know.
Because
it's the Creole
they don't
people,
really know what's going on.
No, even when you're trying to speak English, even the little word that you know you're trying to say in English, they're not going to laugh at you. But you're going to find your young people in the Creole community, oh yeah, they're going to laugh.
You're going to laugh a lot.
So we were training, over the years, we was training our young people in our church and our parishioners. Listen, we are in a community, which is both community, but we're bridging it to make it one community. And as we bridge this gap, you have to do your very best to learn the Creole, learn the English, know the English. And so we have our service. At first, we only had our service whereas we translate. Minister Frito is top of the line translator. I do my very best, especially until when you speak French and your Creole go very high, then I have to let you just continue on.
Yeah, honestly,
and then,
when the Asian pastors both will try to showing up themselves, so
I wouldn't say
they're
that.
gonna use some big words,
I
and
cannot
then
say
you might not find the equivalent word to say it in your language.
Minister Frito is the walking dictionary. Any word that you throw at him, he can find. That's him and Pastor. They can handle that. But I do my very best.
Okay, honestly, encore une fois, ça n'a parlé, et for the Creole listeners, pas oublier ou sur Radio Global 99.5 à l'heure de Wilzor Show, et présentateur Wilzor Antoine, et Facebook Live Wilzor Antoine, Facebook Live Wilzor Show, et nous sur Musique Promo Média, et nous sur Cable Channel 974, nous sur une radio, nous sur Audio Now tout. Et merci un pile avec pasteur Charles Emiles de l'église dans Bacadi, c'est l'église Rédemption de Calvaire. Et merci avec Winnie, merci avec Jam Disciple, Bitol Claudner, John Peter Cadet depuis Florida, Dr Noël Fanfan, Porto Rico, Isidore Joseph, Elbreus Wislen, Jacques le politologue, Humble Duvier, Winnie Dufresne depuis Florida, bravo, Luc Nercy Razamim, Fort Lauderdale, Matoué avant, Jean Donnet, Andréville, Elbreus, Luc Nersira, Ulysse Mackenzie, Utile Mackenzie, merci un pile, ça fait plaisir. Et son ensemble de monde que je me passe sur la vlame, pas respect, pas saluer. Et je pense que c'est un problème qui est là et qui est vraiment difficile, surtout, especially in the Bahamas, c'est un gros problème que l'église fait face à elle. et puis résoudre problème que pas qu'un petit moun yo les petits qu'on ça grandi venir l'église à bon ça pasteur a dit elle pas intéressé yo et pas parce qu'il pas bon non c'est à dire que c'est pas culture yo c'est pas c'est même ça tout a lot of Haitian who came from Haiti they so educated and then they got degree when they come over and then some Bahamian descent so they like to be you t'as aimé avec yo ça a dit mesdames yo il pas goût parce que il pas goût parce que c'est tout culture et grand pile monde qui a plein ici yo dit oh et petit haïtien ici yo pas vle nous yo pas prendre nous et leur fin demander trois petites yo vinn sous nous et pas parce que yo pas vle nous c'est parce que nous pas goût pas on a dit yo pas on a dit yo pas intéressé yo les nous Haïti c'est français parler c'est pile littérature ici moi vlo ou mettre dans condition ça que dans l'église yo qui ça fait si monde qui fait ici yo qu'avec un haïtien c'est haïtien sont musiciens quand Dieu qui à l'église là les jouent piano l'église là ils sont artistes les gars qui attirent c'est-à-dire que quand pile nèg ka plein yo dit mesdames yo pas vle yo c'est là que il a prend pile petite dehors après ça que yo vinn pour haïtien pour réparer yo
well m'pa fin d'accord avec ça parce que m'gandi dans temps côté pour moi-même, créole moi pas jam. Même journée jodi a toujours battre avec créole. Mais ndege un groupe qui sorti Haïti, qui était marché dans l'église Calvary. L'église a tout jeune messieurs, jeune filles qui sorti Haïti, yo gen fini toute classe yo net. Moi-même pas quand fini classe, moi pas quand même fini l'école. Moi-même chita bayo pour m'écouter yo pour me parler avec yo les a mettre français à yo d'ailleurs celle donc me changer pas changer
l'autre bagage non so dit donc on va me changer bagage pas ça changer
quitter là
OK
so quand il a même toujours été avec yo pour comprendre qui ça il y a débat et yo te qu'on a débat on bel sujet yo te qu'on dit well Nasso pas gagné Nasso pas capable aider même côté même avec même point ça au vini tout là nous garder l'église yo dans temps ça en pile jeune te attirer l'église dans 80 dans 19 yo ou gen en pile jeune qui te aime l'église mais en pile jeune tout yo t'a 18 ans yo t'a là yo gen passeport yo pour yo di qu'on y a m'a associé plus avec BM m'a quitter l'église c'est pas parce que l'église n'a pas attiré nous gen des façons nous gen des phases nous gen yon côté réellement vrai gen pile l'église faut yo capable voir exact nan men yo
yeah
faut yo capable garder sac nan men yo qui gens y a attiré sac nan men yo la fini faut nous garder jeune yo tout faut yo capable dire OK moi grandi dans l'église ça qui gens moi capable aider l'église là avancer dans qui façon parce que c'est l'église là qui aide à avancer maman était l'église là tout temps net c'est là ou passer pour l'école c'est là ou fait tout temps là fin graduate university c'est là ça ou dit l'église haïtienne pas camper son
there's something I would like to learn there's something I would like to understand I still cannot understand that why a mother make couple children so they born and raised in the Bahamas 25 years later the same mother can be able to do anything unless the same child gonna speak for her.
Well, that's a serious question. But l'on regarde question ça, faut regarder situation qui fait arriver côté arriver. C'est ouais on maman gagne 5 petites. Parfois 5 petites yo, c'est avec 3 différents papas. Parce que premier papa était d'accord pour être là avec lui, là il fait petit là et tout quitter tant qu'il va voir l'autre papa venir faire l'autre petit encore et tout quitter il va voir so dans tout temps ça la chercher un avenir pour aider tête li pour avancer tête li pour aider petite li mais il pas jamais une chance ou un monde qui dit OK bon éduquer on dans ça bon éduquer on parler anglais à plus bon éduquer et Timonio même y a grandi avec parents yo tout le gen différents idées, different mentality.
Opinion of view here.
So you find because of that, it's in the home you find where there's a separation. The mother trying her best to raise 3 or 5 children because the first man give her a baby and then he left. And then now she's not working. She's trying to find another avenue. Another man came there. She's thinking that this is a good man. He gave her two and then he left. And so persons now trying to cast blame on her by saying she's a bad mother. No, she was not a bad mother. She was under the circumstances, under the situation where she find herself vulnerable. And so what could she have done? Yeah, many persons would say that, oh, she should have gone birth control. She should have done this. But then you have to ask the question, does she know? Did she know? Did she understand those things?
Exactly. Yeah.
We are now have evolved in a community where we have YouTube, Facebook, we are online. We have all the necessary resources to tell us, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what you have to put on. This is what you have to do to avoid yourself from getting trapped. But
you just said something really interested. So we don't need to complain the church ain't got any resources. As a human being, if you've been born and raised in the same church, if you can be useful at the same church, give yourself away to assist the church.
Well, you have that play a role of different level. You have the church itself have to see that, have to see the persons that they are preaching to, the person that they are teaching to see them as a asset, to look at them and say, yes, God have placed you here and he have a mandate for you. We see the churches that are doing that are growing. We see the churches that are not, they are still plateaued. They just right there, not moving, simply because you have a group of people that are in your church. God have called to be part of your church, and you have to recognize that they are accountable to you and you're accountable to God and you're accountable to them.
Yeah.
And so how do you
merge those
them
things
together to say, listen, let's work together for the best? I have this young lady here. She is powerful. She could speak different language. How do I utilize her? I have this other person here that can help us with media. How do I utilize her? You have to have a vision for your church. And once you have that vision, you have to share that vision and sell it.
But for me, so I've kudos for Pastor Dr. Anton, because c'est Antoine quand même. So c'est Antoine, bon, il est pas capable Jean-Lier, c'est Antoine. C'est Antoine tout.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
And I think Dr. Anton St. Louis is the only pastor who give more opportunity with young.
I cannot say because I don't attend all the other churches. I attend Victory Chapel.
No, I take my responsibility.
I cannot take that responsibility.
Wilzor Show take it.
I cannot take that. Now, what I would say for that is he have a listening ear. He listens to his parishioners. He listens to the young people. The young people is his heart.
I can see
he have this motto, this acronym FLY. Family, youth, and leadership. Family, leadership, and youth. That's what he holds to dearly, and
that's my whole model. That's my whole model.
And so, because of that, he pours into the young people. If a young person leave Victory Chapel today and attend another church, you would have said you'll be into a church that this leader attends to you. This leader look out for you. This leader, he may not be at everybody's house, but he attends to you. He makes sure that you will, or when you leave Victory Chapel, you're going to be an asset. You're going to be an asset in this community, in both community.
But I would like to know why, especially the young generation, they think if they choose to join God, especially the Asian churches, the way they preach the gospel, they make them feel, and then when they go join God, so they're gonna have no pleasure anymore. It seems like they in prison or whatever it is. How we can get this issue sorted out?
We are living in a world where the enemy himself makes our young people busy.
Exactly.
With all of the technology, with all
what's
of
going on in the whole world.
To the young person, the church is boring. It's not just the Haitian community. To the young person, when you find a young person that really in church that is sold to God, you say, thank you. Because to the young person, the church is boring. Because the world, when you look at the world, it gives you a lot of things. It don't judge you, so they say. You understand? They use the concept that the church judge you. No, the church hold you accountable. The world judge you. The church hold each and every parishioner accountable. When you join a company, you are held accountable. When you join the police force, you are held accountable.
Accountable,
The church
yeah.
hold you accountable. The world judge you. But the young people find that I have to enjoy life. I have to enjoy the outside because nobody is watching me. Nobody gonna tell me when they come home. Nobody gonna tell me
Oh,
what
they
to
say
do.
this also too. The people in church, they gossip too much.
Of course, they're gonna say that. Of course, you're going to say people gossip because if the church see you doing something that you should not be doing, he's gonna hold you accountable. Today, if media miss and see something out of the way, doesn't they gossip?
Yeah.
They're gonna tell you about it. They're
They-
gonna because they will judge you, but you are being held accountable. And today, nobody want to be held accountable. Nobody, young people don't want to be held accountable. The prodigal son did not want to be held accountable. So what he did, you know what he did? He said, Dad, give me everything that you have for me now. This place is too hard. This place is too strict.
Exactly.
Let me go and
Let me
enjoy
go elsewhere.
myself.
Exactly.
Okay. Now that he enjoyed himself, everything finished, he buck up. Where does he come?
Or they're gonna say, "Oh, life is too short, so I have to live my life." Or one life to live.
So our job is to train up a child. Our job is to just spread the word and let God do the rest.
Okay. Honestly, if I'm gonna stick to the subject, we ain't gonna never end of it because that's something personally I would like to discuss a little bit with you about it because I know you are the right person who can be able to react the way I wish on that topic. Now, being a pastor, so what that mean being a pastor at Victory Chapel?
At Victory Chapel, being one of the leaders of Victory Chapel, it comes with a lot of responsibility because you have responsibility to God, you have responsibility unto the executive team, and you have responsibility unto the people the parishioners of the church. So it's a heavy mandate. It's not something that one can take lightly. So to me, that it's something that is very serious, and every day you have to always be looking at yourself in the mirror because you have a lot of eyes now watching you. You have a lot of persons who wishing. You have the haters who waiting for you to fall, and you have persons who just praying for you, and you have to be able to balance.
Okay, what Victory Chapel does with dime and offering?
You know,
What they do with dime and offering? They collect.
the offering that we collect.
Yeah.
The offering that we collect goes towards the building of the church, goes towards helping people, goes. We have a number of things that take place with an offering. And I hear people that say, "Oh, the churches don't know what the pastors is take all up." No. When you're part of the church, have to be run, lights have to be paid, water bills have to be paid. You have persons who sitting in the church every day, Sunday, are not putting an offering, and not paying tithes, and not doing any none of those things, and they feel that the church is supposed to just live without that. It is what you give, is how you sow, is how you place. What you put in the church that's going to help the church to move. And if you are part of an organization, here's what I'll say to the community at large. When you are part of that organization, it's like you live in a house and you're not helping, you're not contributing, and the house need help. You see the light need to be paid, but you're not giving. You see the water bill need to be paid, but you're not part.
But depend if you have. If you don't have.
If you don't have, that's a different thing. If you don't have. And now here's the question I will pose to you. How many persons have went through this 365 days that didn't have 1 cent for the entire year?
So I don't think so. I can exactly. So
right.
someone gonna
When
still
you
have it.
you give. When you don't, everybody understand that.
Exactly.
And you got to see, and here's the other thing you have to see. Look at the church. You can look at the church and you can see what the church is doing. The AC that you see that is up, it didn't just boom, come up, speak life and it comes up. You see the church advancing. You see the things that is being put in place. You see when you are in need for this pandemic. During the pandemic, our church went over and beyond of helping persons.
Yeah, I see that.
During
I
the
see that.
pandemic. During the hurricane, the very same thing. You as a parishioner should be able to see that. But oftentimes we don't see that. The only thing we see, we feel that we see a number of people in the church and we feel like, oh yeah, this church have a lot of money. And so now what the church do?
But they even say also too, I know you hear about that also too. They say most like members at Victory Chapel, they don't want to work for more money.
They don't want to work for more money.
You don't want to work for more money.
They work for more money. They make more money in the community.
Yeah.
I disagree. I fully disagree with that, because if you look at the Haitian community in our churches, in every church there's a carpenter, there's a mason, there's a plumber, there's an electrician.
Exactly.
Every church there's a contractor. In every church there is a person that God have blessed to help that church advance. In every church in the community, whether it's English speaking churches, whether it's Creole speaking churches, the difference that you find is that in the English speaking churches, people are voluntary. They're willing to serve God. They're willing to give God their time, their energy, their sacrifice.
Their money.
They're willing to do that. In the Creole speaking church, you have to
beg them,
put almost a gun to their face to tell them
by the neck,
or you have to call somebody in to come and give the Sermon on the Mount for them to give you something. In the English churches, they give voluntarily. They give their service voluntarily. They give their time voluntarily. And they give it unto God and say, hey, here it is, for all that you have done for me. You have blessed me. Let us look at our Haitian churches just for a moment, just on that same topic that you bring up about giving.
Okay. Now, the same, we're talking about the churches. So we know for sure any community, only way the community can be able to little wider build, so by education. So since I've been here, I never heard there's a group of pastors send couple children to school to learn something. They can come in back and then to come to serve the community in that only way. We can say, so we have a doctor, we have that. So the reason why is so most like the Haitian community, they treat us like a trash because we don't have. I say something.
Hold on.
Okay,
wait.
I don't say that.
Wait, I disagree. You may not hear the churches standing on the radio or on the corner and saying, I have done this, or they may not have come together and say, okay, the five of us come together as a church. First and foremost, here's what you got to look at. In the Haitian community, there's different denomination of churches.
No, I do
That's
agree.
The first thing you have to
I do agree.
You have young people who attend those different churches. You have the church that may support you because you attend the church. So they support you with your education. They support you as best as they can. They only could do so much. They cannot pay for your entire scholarship, but they could do something to give you a stipend. Now, here's where the problem comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Is when we don't have that spirit of gratitude. We have young people who have went off to college, who are doctors. We have young people who have finished their college degree, graduated, and so forth. They are not coming back to the Haitian community. They are coming back to the community at large, but they are not coming back to the Haitian community. Their parents still in the Haitian community, but they themselves have moved on. And they have moved on, and only a few that you'll find that have that
for
spirit
me,
of gratitude.
that's something I'm trying to understand. Can understand that. So actually, if I'm a doctor, no matter what, so they put Asian after my name. So I'm doctor. No matter what you say, Asian doctor, I'm doctor. So that's why. So that's someone. So I really appreciate. I really like Dr. Albert Francois. So no matter what, he's Dr. Albert Francois. So most likely, most the Bahamian Haitian descent, they scared to show up themselves as a Asian background.
I agree with you that I fully agree with you. Not I wouldn't say fully agree, but I agree with you. The difference with Dr. Francois, there's others who does the very same thing, who's not afraid to say, well, yes, I am of Haitian descent.
But honestly,
the difference with that
honestly,
is he have a self-esteem that he knows who he is, and you need him. He knows who he is. He's not afraid to say, hey, I am of Haitian descent. What else? What else?
I don't need
we
you.
Have enough.
You have to come to me.
And it's not a matter of I don't need you. It's not to boast to say I don't need you. The fact of the matter is, the child who may not even have a degree yet can still have that self-esteem and say, yes, I am of Haitian descent. That conversation is over. The problem that we have a two-layer conversation. When I was growing up in the Haitian community, in the Creole community, I listened to parents who used to tell their children, so you put that mentality. We have that mentality. We have then that child who grew up with a stigma where he feels that, listen, I'm not a Haitian. I can't wait till I become 18 because when I become 18, I'm no longer a Haitian. When I have that passport,
I'm not a Haitian.
Until you get into a community or until you get to a group of persons who remind you of who you are. Exactly. You know who I love? Look at it today. You see many of our young people, they're not afraid anymore.
Anyways, thank you so much, Pastor Michael. On a plein sur internet là que vous dit que comme parler anglais plus.
D'accord.
Nous avons raison. Et ce qui ça sujet nous te voulons pour Pastor Michael, non angle vraiment côté que pour qui ça que et tout le monde qui fait ici et vous faites dans l'église là, vous dans l'église là, combien de l'âge, vous quittez l'église là, c'est parce que l'église a pas goût pour vous, parce que bah qu'à parler, pas intéressé, parce que vous vivez dans culture, tout ça, etc. Et pasteur Ali même, les sous-chers Ali même, la parle bon français, la parle créole francisé, et même ça pas intéressé tout le monde ici. Et de ça que tu as parlé, et ensuite nous te parlé encore de mon cher excusez de Lobby Georges et wabin show pas
my brother
Lobby Georges, thank you so much sir. Wabin Wilzor Show petit garçon mon connait sous liste là.
Now you should have bring him tonight. This would have been a great topic tonight.
That's true.
This would have been awesome.
But the thing is, I supposed to bring him over.
Yes, this would have been good. And d'accord avec yo deske yo di nous pas parler en pile dans créole là parce que vraiment nous besoin communauté a commencé comprendre.
Yeah,
nous communauté qui parle anglais qui parle créole. Faut faire tout moyen possible pour balancer. Faut faire même les anglais ont pas trop, mais faut travailler sur lui quand même.
Yeah.
Et c'est ça moi avec Loubi, il fait ça. C'est Loubi qui met créole là.
Qui met créole là. Oui, moi ça. So c'est ça guys, me présente excuse parce que me fait mission pratiquement en anglais aujourd'hui parce que me gon guest anglais.
Non, pas d'accord. Pas pour ça. Pas d'accord.
OK, so pas de problème. Me gon guest semi anglais, etc. So c'est ça lié et encore une fois et merci en pile que ça fait plaisir. Merci en pile avec tout sponsor mio. Merci en pile avec Mami Tali restaurant et merci en pile avec God is Good restaurant, The Food is Good, Madame Pierre et téléphone 428 13 51. Mes amis, allez supporter Madame Pierre pour moi dans Street et Balfour Avenue. À supporter Polo Bar Black. Et merci en pile. À supporter pour moi Tibap Mécanique 465 6504. À supporter pour moi Windows and Door Solution dans Market Suite 455 26 82. Et merci en pile pour support nous. Merci en pile à tout le monde et qui t'a avec du début à la fin. Merci en pile à tout le monde qui m'a là. J'anticipe. Merci Lobby Georges et Edmond Belloni et c'est next show m'a parlé créole pour et m'a parlé créole pour Edmond Belloni. Pasteur Prisner, yeah, I have to mix it.
You do.
Yeah, c'est mon problème non. D'accord. Dieu loue, Massillon et depuis New York et Remontando et Laura P. Lubé. Merci un pile et Laura et Papa Bin Choa et me contacter le bagage et merci tout le monde. That was a pleasure to be here. My name is Wilzor. I'm out.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the